What you said is very true. Last night, as I paged through the Bibles which we bought our children, I noticed that the cartoons there are just white cartoons, and it really plays a major role in how they think. Now, the second question I wanted to ask is, how has colonialism affected black men?
Yeah, as I said earlier, that the effect of colonialism was not only political, but also psychological. So on black women, it has destroyed their perception of beauty, and on black men, it has stripped them of the major role which they must play in the family, and that is taking responsibility. I'll focus a little on the effect on black men. What we have to realize at this point is that economy determines our family structure. Before the Industrial Revolution, for instance, we were so dependent on agriculture. And for that reason, we needed each other, and therefore we believed in larger families because of we had to work together in the farms to produce food. And when the Industrial Revolution came, the family structure changed from that major one to a nucleus family where you only have a mother and a father and children. And people started to be, the family structure became to be small. More than that is that the black man during the Industrial Revolution in South Africa, for instance, during the time of the mines, when the mines were the major source of work, a black man had to leave his family and go and work in the mines. And as a result, that destroyed his presence, that destroyed the family by leaving a vacuum where it's supposed to be filled by the black man. So most people today blame black people for, black men for instance, for not taking responsibility of their families. But what they don't point out is that this factor of a black man not taking responsibility for his family is an effect of a horrible past, that most young people my age, for instance, they were raised by single mothers because maybe the father went to work in the mines and never came back, found another woman there. So before we could just throw all the mud upon a black man and accuse him of not taking responsibility for his family, we must also look at the economic factors. A black man does not own the means of production. And as a result, he leaves a vacuum at home to try and put bread on the table. That is not the only issue why black men leave. Some of them are just stupid and irresponsible. But before we could accuse all black men of not taking responsibility, we must consider the fact that they don't have the machinery to give them the comfort to fill the space at home where they are needed. And the Industrial Revolution, particularly in South Africa, has created that gap where most children were raised by single mothers because the black man had to go away. Now it's even worse. We are living in the age of the computer, where people prefer to be single, especially most women. They prefer to be single because after all, they can have their own jobs. They don't need a man to provide because in the African context, the man